Before starting the video, I strongly recommend you to look at the videos I made about the HELLUVA boss. When I first watched the question of why he was doing the story of Stolas, I realized that I started to love the character of Blitz for his naivety and mindset in the later processes. It also started with asking the question of what is the real mission of Stolas, why was this mission given, and what is he doing. I want to start by asking the first question and then continuing the video. HELLUVA boss, who is your favorite character and why? Don't forget to specify in the comments. Let's come to the life story and missions of Stolas. A long time ago, Stolas had to kill some people in the world by calling Blitz. He said that if he doesn't kill, many people in the world will die. The main theme of the story was global warming, a problem that began to ravage the world. The world was warming rapidly and drought had begun because of the heat. Stolas saw in his visions that people in the world were going to die, and he realized that some people had to die to stop it. This would only stop global warming and the world would continue to live. Stolas hired a blitz and gave the names of people who denied the existence of global warming and caused this problem. Blitz took these names and came to Earth and eliminated these names that caused global warming. Stolas seems to be a very passive character in the HELLUVA boss cartoon series, but he is actually a demon with a huge responsibility in the background. Now some people will say, Abi, don't be ridiculous. Why would a demon save the world? Now if we analyze theologically, as long as the world exists, Satan will deceive people and send them to hell and fill hell. As long as the world exists, humanity will exist and he will make more people sinners and send them to hell. If the world ceases to exist and humanity disappears, there will be an apocalypse and no more people will be sent to hell. When we think about all this, the demons will help the world to rotate and help humanity to rotate, even if indirectly, in order to maintain the existence of hell and to fill it with human beings. They will help the world to rotate and prevent the end of humanity. It is precisely at this point that Stolas saved the world not for good, but on the contrary, to fuel hell. Of course, there is another detail. Stolas is one of the most naive of demons and one of the rare demons who hates his position. Although he is noble and powerful, he is not at all satisfied with this life. He wants to be happy, and it is his relationship with Blitz that gives him this happiness. It is worth going a little deeper into Stolas' life. Stolas was born into the Ars Goetia family, and on his birthday, his father gave him a grimoire to study the skies of the human world, and at the same time, to give him an heir. He entered into an arranged marriage with Stella. Because his father wanted to prevent his son from crying about the marriage because of his behavior in the painting, he took Stolas to a circus where Fizzaroli and Blitzo were performing. Stolas liked Blitzo and his jokes, so his father talked to Blitzo's father and bought Blitzo as Stolas' playmate so he didn't have to deal with him. The two became friends and reunited years later at one of Stella's parties where Blitzo tried to steal the grimoire. Stolas misunderstood him for wanting to engage in sexual activity, which Blitzo used to obtain Stolas' book and thus gain access to Earth and start the formation of the IMP. Stolas either didn't realize this or didn't care, and instead, when Blitzo told him what they had done, he used it to initiate his divorce with Stella. He also has a hard time expressing his feelings when faced with bigger dilemmas, like having a hard time explaining to Octavia that his marriage was never good or standing up to Stella before their affair, and having a hard time talking to Blitzo about his true feelings for her. While these tendencies may make him appear selfish and even extreme to some people in his life, he is not indifferent to correction or remorse. And this is something he makes an effort to cultivate, especially in relation to his beloved daughter Octavia. Stolas is also shown to be very lonely, seemingly isolated and closed in his position. In Circus, as a child, he told a young Blitzo that he had no one to share his books with, further supporting this idea. Although married, it is implied that he and his wife are not affectionate and that their marriage has long been somewhat cold. Stolas, perhaps surprisingly, has an equally romantic and open side, something he is currently in a complicated extramarital affair with Blitzo, an imp considered lower class among his peers, with whom he wishes to have an affair. He is also very uncensored when discussing his many bedroom preferences, sometimes using extremely explicit and flowery language in front of others. Stolas is invested in hell soap operas as comfort shows, enjoys the process of preparing for a date, and adores idealized ideas of love romance. As with many demons and inhabitants of hell in general, Stolas has a somewhat dubious moral compass and is implied to interfere in people's affairs for his own benefit. He can easily cross the border between hell and the living world with his own personal magic and seems to take pleasure in terrorizing people. Despite this, he is kind and nurturing to those he cares about, showing clear devotion to his daughter, concern for Blitzo and his co-workers, and also caring for his large and bountiful garden of carnivorous infernal plants. When we think of the demons of hell, his power seems to be very weak compared to the others. We have only seen 3 demons. Although Vivsipop admitted that he hadn't given the idea much thought, he described Stolas as more powerful than Alastor, but also mentioned that their powers work differently. This shows that Stolas is actually a very powerful character. Of course, in time, we can learn more about Stolas by renewing such information even more. I wonder what you think about Stolas? Don't forget to tell us in the comments. If you've watched this far, it means you liked the video. You can subscribe to my channel, you can like the video and give your opinion in the comments. Take care and see you in the next video. Goodbye.